Oh, what a say.
What's up?
Here we are.
Here we are.
It's-
Here we fucking are.
It's happening. Hi, everybody. We're so excited to be here with you. We've been waiting all day for this incredible transmission and codes to come through for all y'all.
For all y'all.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. We're really excited. We've got some fun announcements. Some crazy shit's been happening.
It's true. Some amazing stuff has been coming through the pipe as we've been just getting prepared for this life, which has been crazy because in one day so much can happen. And in one day, everything's turned around on a dime.
And that's the topic of what we are talking about tonight.
Hey, everybody who's joining us.
Welcome.
Hello.
What's up, Dee? Sounds like you might come and play with us this weekend. We're so excited to see you again.
Hey, is he on?
Yes, he is.
They
are. Yes. Okay, here we go. So excited to jump in and share some really fun stuff with you guys. On a dime, we use this phrase all the time. This is a law of attraction hack. And let's just lay it out for you guys. Let's just lay out how this works, because the truth is stuff happens in life all the time that's unexpected or unplanned. We're actually just talking with someone today working on a remodel job for their business that was quoted at $800 to $1,000, and it ended up being over $4,000 once they were all in it. But at that point, they're in it. And we've been experiencing something similar with quite a few of our projects, actually. I was talking to my dad the other day, and this is something that a lot of people can't comprehend navigating, because oftentimes we don't play big enough where we set ourselves up with enough risk where these types of things can happen. And that's because there's been so much pessimism and so much disappointment in our life that we don't really go for it. And I'm telling you, out here in the arena, really going for it, it can really suck. And there's moments that are really discouraging, but this is living on the edge, like really going for it and dreaming. I've always wanted to open a crystal shop and a healing center. And now that I've done it, it's complete. It's not going to be something I take to my grave wondering what it would have been like, right? I've done it. And I'd love to know, what is that for you?
Yeah.
What's up? Hiya. I'm seeing, it's just saying Facebook user tonight. It's not telling us, but I'm pretty sure this is Dee. And no idea who this is. I think it's because it's trying to pull it from so many groups, because I also posted this in Rebel Haven today.
Okay, cool.
So, but basically, we love you. And even if we don't know your name, Facebook user.
This is the first time that's happened.
Ever in this software.
Hello, everyone joining us.
We're so excited to be coming live to you guys tonight. We are going live. This is the concluding live for our Inner Circle group coaching program. Hasn't been open in over a year. It's incredible. That's what this is in honor of. So if what we are saying and sharing today really resonates, and you get that itch and that feeling that's like, yes, I know I'm meant to work with them. I know this next year is going to be transformational.
Yep.
And this is where I'm supposed to be. We'll hook you up with all the links and help you get set up. Anybody that full pays today also gets a past life regression and 2 months free in the program, which is a $1,400 savings. So good stuff. So let's dive back in. So what I was saying is that, out here in the arena, you're like really living on the edge. And I was talking to my dad a couple weeks ago. I was adding up all of the planned for, expected, anticipated contract income that was meant to come in. And this spring, in the window of, it was right as we were going to buy this house. So I'm going to tell you guys this so you can see the reframe. I'm going to be very vulnerable with some shit. Okay. So a lot of you guys know that when we initially started this company, we had some very clear visions. And one of the things that we were adding in here was a coffee house. We had an investor lined up. We were starting construction, like we were literally getting ready to jackhammer the floor, and our investor backed out. And that was really lame, because we'd already invested money in a salary for a cafe manager. We'd already done invest a lot of money in like sourcing our coffee. Like we even have our own coffee, like we're gonna white label. It's like the Little Gem.
Oh yeah,
the Little Gem brew, basically.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And we had product tested smoothies, shakes. We have the most amazing waffle recipe that's gluten-free, that's also good for like, we're gonna make breakfast sandwiches, all this stuff, right? And we were literally ready to pull the trigger, and then that happened. So then we were kind of scrambling and looking for another investor, and we didn't find one that was aligned. And so that project got tabled. Anyways, what I'm basically saying is in life and in business, sometimes unexpected things happen. And I'm wanting to share this with you because as law of attraction coaches, we can get in our heads sometimes. We're like, oh, things didn't turn out perfectly. We must not know what we're saying. We must not be qualified to talk about this. So I'm wanting to share this with you. So in the window of about 6 weeks, as we were getting ready to buy this home and getting all the financing and all the qualifications set up for ourselves, we had about $45,000 of anticipated income. I'm going to say that again, $45,000. I mean, like, that's more than a lot of people make in a year. Anticipated income that was meant to come in during these 6 weeks that did not come in. A series of unfortunate circumstances for some of the people that were owing on those accounts receivable, as well as some mix up with a chunk of money coming back to us from the state. And $45,000, that's a bit of a gut punch.
A gap.
It's a bit of a gap of what we had planned. And so we have been pivoting ever since that happened.
Yeah.
In addition to that happening, renters that were renting here, the income, we counted on that at the center, they moved out. A bunch of people who are planning on moving in found a different location that works better for what they're building. And so it has been a crazy, bizarre window of literally one thing after the other. And I'm only touching on like the logistical financial things. There were also emotional things that were happening and going on, like in the private sector of things that we can't actually talk about here because there's legality and like, divorce decrees and stuff that create anonymity. But basically some emotional things, some personal attacks, just some stuff that makes shit hard.
Yeah.
That makes shit really hard, all happening at one time.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah. Let me know.
Where in your life is this a mirror? Where have things that you thought were going to happen, you thought you were banking on, you thought that it was going to be coming through, but then something has happened and people change their minds and everything that happens. What's happened?
Yeah.
Is what I'm wanting to know.
Yeah. Throw a one in the comments if you guys have ever had a season or a window where you're just feeling like, we had, and again, it's not like our personal life necessarily, but people that we love, we had a nephew have a really severe injury and need to have surgery. And so, then we're watching the niece and the nephew. And again, like that's normal stuff that happens. But when you're in a tight window and a lot's hitting at once, these things can feel like it's almost like treading water. This is the analogy I use. I'm like treading water and then a wave is just like, and I'm like, and I like got salt and I'm like trying to breathe, right? Treading water. So, lost a high paying job. Yeah. Those types of things. And so really it's not about what happens. It's about what we do, what happens. And so, in full transparency during these 6 weeks, and this is one of the reasons why we went into this launch, is to help us stay in our alignment as coaches and in the work that we do, because there's a very real feeling of like sadness and victim. Like my inner victim was thinking and feeling, why is this happening to me? I'm here to love the planet. I'm here to make a positive impact. Where is my break? Where is my blessings for being a good girl or being nice? Like all of my wounds and all my stories, they were all coming up for both of us. And staying positive has been a daily moment to moment process. There are some people that we've banked on that we discovered we couldn't, and some light being shown on past just relationships, friendships, family that has felt like really abandoned and really alone. And it's been hard. And just continuing to choose back into being as optimistic as we can about it. And
running down the hall saying, I'm badass, I can do it. I can do anything. I'm made for this. This is what I was built to do.
And
seriously,
we went from thinking that we were about to be purchasing this home and flipping it. We would be buying it with some equity in it, I'm getting back into real estate, feeling really excited about that, and thinking that we are bringing in some studios here into the center and feeling really excited about that.
Yeah.
Just the influx of people, energy, income, and having it all on. And feeling really defeated and feeling really discouraged. And again, there's a bit of a housing shortage where we're living. And there's just not really a place that's a fit for our size of family and what we need, like with homeschooling and like the way the space gets to feel. And we also have pets. And so up until about an hour ago, this is how it turns around on a dime. We were getting positioned to move all of our stuff into storage and to live at an RV park and camper for the next 2 months while we house hunted. And I mean, it's on a beach, it's on the river. It's like, it would be a really nice place. It'd be like a little
Really
vacay.
Yeah.
But also living in a camper with 5 kids while working 2 businesses. Like there's a lot of stressful things about this. And so staying as positive as we can and just focusing on what's next and being really resourceful, because when you bank on $45,000 worth of income coming in to live on for projects, for overhead, and it doesn't, it's really, it can be really discouraging. And a lot of those stories start coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those insecurities start coming up. And so again, applying this to your life, the law of attraction, it's why didn't the sale of the house come through? So let's just go there. Why didn't it come through? Well, as we were asking ourselves, we realized we didn't actually really want it. We didn't actually have our full energy behind it. There were things about it and the things about the location and all of these things that we were kind of settling for and making do with. But ultimately, it actually isn't. It's a little bit of a detour from our vision and our plan of where we're heading and what we're creating.
Yeah.
But because of the housing shortage and not having options, we didn't want to like basically be homeless. It was like buy this house or be homeless / move into a really cramped 3-bedroom townhouse with 7 kids and 2 dogs and no backyard and no storage for all our stuff and like all the things, right? So when it came to those 2 decisions, it's like be homeless or buy this house. We're like, yeah, buy this house. Fuck yeah. And then it wasn't coming together. It wasn't coming together. So basically what I'm telling you is we're getting ready to go pick up a U-Haul tomorrow morning to move all this stuff out. And we got a call from the homeowner that's deciding they're going to wait 1 more school year to sell because they want to sell at the peak during the middle of summer. And they're past their window for the things that they would want to do to get it fixed up and ready to sell. So they offered us to rent it. And what a whirlwind. And not only that, but this house has some really fun potentials. It's got full hookups for our campers. So we can Airbnb that out. It's got a lot of great things about it that make it a possible perfect fit for another 10-month stay as we get some of these other things situated with our business and either finding a house we want to buy or build. It just gives us some window to figure something out here. How amazing, right? So a turn around on a dime. In 1 month we moved, had some major expenses come up. Frank had heart failure and ended up in the hospital with a health crisis. Right. Exactly. This happened to Chris. He was supposed to deploy a few months. At the end, we'd be debt free. Someone else in the billet now.
Is on the ballot now.
Oh.
Someone new's on the ballot now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm sharing this with you guys because I'm just wanting to use it as a metaphor for what may be going on in your life. And it truly is darkest just before the dawn. And I think our dawn is just starting to break. I think a lot of things are coming back together and feeling smooth, but it's really about like, what is your reframe on what's happened? Because your brain will make a conclusion and a decision about why something's happened and about what's possible for you. And it can bring in a pessimism that actually blocks the next thing that you're creating.
Oh, that's so true.
So we want to close it up. So if I were to close it up, like the reason the house sale didn't come through isn't because law of attraction doesn't work, because I wasn't aligned to it. It's because deep down, I didn't actually want it. And so because I didn't want it, for the reasons that now I can see very clearly. And even that, like some of the stuff that didn't come through, if it would have come through, we would have gone in a different direction.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing now that I'm really glad we didn't go in that direction, because it's not actually what we want. We've been getting so much more clarity about what we really want. And sometimes getting clear on that is in the darkest moments of our life.
Yeah. Something I wanted to add, it's like, since doing this and figuring out, like, technically we're like still in this house, and we have been, but like it's like we basically have, because this has happened, it's like we have this fresh new wave, or like almost a new set, a pair of eyes that we couldn't see, weren't willing to see. And it's like basically a whole different opportunity, choice, availability. It's like so many different things have opened up, and nothing's literally changed. It's like, but we have, and the perspective has changed. And that's sometimes all you need. Sometimes hearing one perspective that you know is not in alignment with what you're wanting to do next, like sometimes just hearing it in comparison to like another one that feels more aligned, you'll maybe not pick either, but you'll find your path based off of those two different ones that you've heard. But either way, it's like so many things end up happening, so many things that end up being discovered, and like we're feeling a whole different like wave of energy, of emotion, of possibility. Like there's just a whole world that's basically opening up now at this time, and nothing's even changed except for our perspective,
which feels like everything.
It is everything. It is everything. Like what takes something from feeling impossible 1 minute to the next minute feeling completely doable? Perspective. A mindset shift. A change in the way we're seeing something, because in this way and in this line of sight, something can feel so small, so closed, and like there's absolutely no possibility that this could be linked to what it is that I'm really wanting, right? But it's like, actually, let's just put different colored glasses on. Let's change the way that we're seeing this. And now everything has like completely opened up. Not only that, like maybe this was what we were seeking or wanting in the first place, but because this wasn't available, we couldn't see it, but now we can. There's just so much that has changed, and the perspective can be life-changing. It is. It's the way.
It absolutely is. And today we were on a call in our Master's Academy, and one of the clients that we're working with right now, what I love is a lot of the clients that we work with, they're like lifetime clients. They work with us, and they, then they move out of the container, and then they come back and work with us. And it's like, it's such an amazing experience to get to help people at all these different stages of their journey. And one of the clients that we were talking with today, I worked with her back in 2018, and it's so fun to see all the work that she's doing. And today she opened up and discovered something that is like the core problem that all the symptoms have been coming from. And to really dive deep into that and see that not taking action in her business, not following through on what she needs to, not creating that consistent income, all comes back to this one core mindset. It's like the brain gets stuck on it. Like a record or a skipping CD, right? Just like stuck. And when you can go in and you can shift that, and you just open it up, now all of a sudden, all of the things inside of you that are designed to function a certain way, which is basically like, here's my vision, here's my goal, I'm believing in it. And then I receive the inspired action as well as the motivation, because it's my vision to take the steps that I need to take to get there, right? And like also with that, as you align, the universe starts bringing all the cooperative components into place, right? So watching her realize this thing and shift that, it's like, it's better than, it's like, okay, mindset is the foundation. So we know a lot of business strategy. We've played in lots of different games with business, and we've helped a lot of different types of business. And at the end of the day, it always comes down to your mindset and your emotional, energetic alchemy. I am serious. If you don't know how to take a shitty comment, a shitty opinion or perspective from somebody and turn it into fuel for your vision, like, you're going to struggle. You get to understand how to take those down moments, those pessimistic times, and your business can actually, it's a personal development journey disguised as a money-making opportunity for all of my entrepreneurs on here. So, but that's life in general too. Like, if we're choosing to live consciously as we're in the arena, everything that happens to us is happening for us. And this is the huge shift. All of that stuff, and it's trusting it before you see it. Like right now, where like dawn is starting to peek through, we're like, oh, okay, this is why this happened, this is why this happened, this is why this happened. When you're in the middle of it, it's like, why the fuck is this happening for me? But you're thinking, what the fuck? You know, what the actual fuck? And it just feels like, you know, the sky is falling and everything is falling apart. And, you know, where's this person? Where's this person? Where's that check? And where's this? And where's that? Where's this? You're getting phone calls from people needing payments, and you're juggling and dancing shit around because you're like, holy shit, this wasn't planned. This wasn't in the plan.
Yeah.
But taking those moments, again, law of attraction isn't a tool to beat yourself up, but a lot of people do that. They set a goal of like, oh, I'm going to create 15K, 40K in my business this month. And they don't hit those numbers and things don't go the way that they want. So they're like, oh, you know, I'm an idiot. Wham, wham. Emotionally and energetically and mentally, they do that to themselves because they're like, oh, why didn't I manifest it? And it's from a place of meanness versus genuine curiosity that's neutral. Well, why didn't we buy this house? Well, because I don't know if the first house we want to buy together is going to be in Vernal. Maybe we're going to want to, you know, invest somewhere else. Maybe, like, who knows exactly what that is? Well, I mean, we know, I'm not telling you yet, but basically there's a lot of things to ask yourself. I'm just using this as a metaphor to apply to yourself and your life.
Yep.
Why would you be sabotaging that thing or recreating that thing? Because when we dig in and we figure out what those things are, everything starts to shift and everything starts to fall in place for us. So things not going the way you want is an opportunity to get curious versus, I'm just reading this awesome comment. Sorry, what's happening? We're talking about turning things around on a dime when things aren't going the direction that you want, understanding how to still utilize the law of attraction and get back on track to creating what you ultimately want through, honestly, the lens of love and acceptance and trusting that even if it doesn't look like things are happening for you, they really are. This is about strengthening our relationship with the divine. And to be honest, yesterday I was doing a meditation in our conference room and I was thinking about all the different moving pieces that were just feeling really hard and thinking about just disappointments and stories and frustrations. And I was like, basically I was praying and I was like, what the fuck? Where are you right now? God, angels, universe, where are you? I'm feeling completely alone in navigating all of these different things that are coming in at the same time. And honestly, that's just real. That's just the human experience. As much as I literally 3 days before that am watching miracles happen in front of my face that my baby love and I are literally facilitating through the work that we do with these amazing clients at our retreat. And then just 2 days later, a human experience and amnesia has me back doubting what I've known so many times before. Throw a 2 in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, where you're like, you relearn something or you figure something out and you're like, oh yeah, I remember I knew this before. Like, oh, I forgot about this.
I'm never going to forget.
I'm
always going to remember this feeling.
And then coming back to this, remembering what the assignment is. We didn't come here to this planet to have a free ride. That's a different planet. This planet is needing some help with some shifting out of this old earth paradigm that is full of contrast and pain and disappointment. And we can utilize those very real things that happen in life to create a deeper appreciation of the moment in front of us, to center. Like, one of the things that's really come back to me during all of this craziness, because there's been like this story that's like, oh my gosh, like, we're fucking $100,000 a year coaches, and we're in a situation where I'm feeling like there's nowhere to live and nowhere to get my family set up that feels good for us. Feeling failure feelings, feeling embarrassment feelings, like going into all of that. That's a very real human experience to have. We're going to have those. That's what this planet is based in, founded in, is that contrast. And what do you do when the cards are down? Is it the chips are down? What do you do when it's down? What do you do when it's feeling rigged, not in your favor, but actually against you? How do you pick yourself up and continue to believe in the beauty of humanity when you've just watched somebody totally mistreat or abuse somebody? How do we do that? And learning and developing the skill of energy alchemy and consciously choosing your mindset is the most beautiful, loving thing that you can do for yourself. And I just remembered what I was going to tell you, which is, as we've been going through this experience where I've been having all these stories about, like, you know, what it means, like, what does it mean to live in an RV park for 2 months? And what does this mean? And what does that mean? And it's like, well, it means whatever you decide that it means. And additionally, I've had this very real returning to what actually fucking matters. And as much as I've written a book, and I'm an international speaker, and I've, done all these cool things, met really cool people, and like all of that's really great. And it's amazing. It's awesome. And I love it. It's one of the reasons I'm on this planet. At the end of the day, what really matters can't ever be taken away from me. There is no, because like when things don't go your way, it can open up all this fear of the unknown, right? Like what if a tornado came and just took out the whole building, right? Like, it can get you starting to think in like these worst case scenarios, because seriously, the stacked repeated events that have occurred to bring us to the point we are now, it's like wild. It's bizarre. And I remember telling her a few weeks ago, I was like, well, if for some reason this house isn't supposed to come through, then I guess it's not supposed to come through, because this feels like some divine intervention, because some of the shit that's happening is like off the wall. You couldn't even plan for it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's felt like. That's exactly how it's felt.
Exactly. And so in those moments, returning to what truly matters and what it is, like, everything that I really want or ever need, I already have. And the meaning that these things have is neutral. But the brain will make up a story, right? The brain will make up a story. Oh, you weren't invited to the party. That means you're not lovable. Yep. Versus, I wasn't invited to the party because they're not a vibe match. And
I don't want to be there anyways, actually.
It's incompatibility.
Yeah.
If you're not wanted somewhere, then you're not compatible there. And it's not personal. It's actually just a sign to keep looking. Next. Where's my friend group? Where's my best job position? Where's my best partner? Where's my best whatever? But what we do, because we've been programmed to do this, which is the work we help you do, is unprogramming this fuckery, which is, it means nothing. It means it's an incompatibility. You're still amazing, brilliant, beautiful, spectacular, lovable, wanted, desirable. But what happens is, as we go through life and our brain unconsciously interprets things based on an automatic program from your childhood. Okay, so the situation happens and your brain is like, this equals I'm a bad mom. This equals I'm not a qualified coach. This equals nobody wants partner. Me.
Yeah.
I'm not a good wife.
Yeah. This equals I'm not enough. I never should have signed up for this.
I'm stupid. I can't make good decisions with my time. I can't make good decisions with money. I'm stupid.
These are real thoughts that come in every day. Like, we're thinking 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. And the background of those thoughts are basically what has been programmed in us from childhood. The way we think about things, the way we see things, the way we view things, the way all of that comes in is programming from childhood. So all of that, not all of it, but there gets to be these micro shifts that happen inside of the way that we think and how we look at things to be able to change our experience.
Well, and it's just interesting to look at like the default patterning, like, you know, my oldest daughter have different triggers with than anybody else, right? She was my firstborn, and she was my firstborn, and she's a daughter, and like there are certain triggers I have with her. And one of the things that I caught really, really frequently happening for myself was when she is navigating some sleep. It's called sleep.
Like insomnia?
Insomnia.
Yeah.
She also navigates high levels of anxiety. And I have been and do internal and beat myself up. Like I take it personally when she's anxious. And what that does is the interpretation is I'm a bad mom. I've scarred her in some way. Like she's heard me say these things. I'm like, oh, I was just too OCD when she was a kid. I was just, you know, it was just her and me. So I treated her too much like an adult too soon, blah, 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 right? Like the brain has all these bullshit stories.
Or whatever stories your parents have said about.
Yeah. Well, right. Like some of these things I'm saying, like
Yeah.
my mom said these things about herself. Like she had this anxiety. She had this fear, this I'm not a good mom bullshit, right? And what happens is a couple of things. First of all, that fear and that belief recreates that to be reality. Because if I'm feeling like a shitty mom, I'm going to be emotionally tapped out. And so her emotions, I'm going to take personally, and I'm going to be reactive to those versus holding space, versus being her calm in the storm, versus teaching her how to emotionally regulate, right? Yep. So I'm wanting you guys to see how the mindset and the belief perpetuates the problem and amplifies it, right? It's like, even if I did fuck her up when she was 4 because, I don't know, I was too OCD about her picking up her toys or something, right? Even if that did happen, beating the shit up out of myself does nothing for fixing it. If she's dealing with anxiety that I did help curate in her system, what am I going to do about it now? But what happens is we get stuck on these loops and we're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. I was saying this to her 3 days ago. I was like, you know how many people inside of the situation with all these different moving parts would be completely immobilized, like completely flatlined, freaking out, panic attack, needing to be institutionalized, because that is the state of so many people's unconscious mind, that when things go wrong, it means I'm fucked, I'm not loved, it's danger, it's panic, it's all of these things, and that's when the spiral happens.
Yeah.
And you hit a rock bottom. I remember Baby Love asked me yesterday, do you have a rock bottom? No, it's true. I don't, because I'm just being so positive. She's like, do you have a rock bottom? What the fuck? And I'm like, nah, I'm married to her. Rock bottom doesn't exist for me. All I have to do is look at her. Are you going to cool it off in here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just opening the door.
Rock bottom doesn't exist for me being married to her, because all I have to do is look at her and think, I'm good. And even then, like, gratitude, you guys, is a huge, huge key in all of this. When you're going through shit and you're going through hell, finding things to be grateful for, getting out in nature. I'm so grateful for the health of my kids. I'm so grateful for our health.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that God blessed me with this face, you know, and this jawline. Like, what? I mean, how bad can it really be with the face like this? Not that bad, right? So been like, we, you know, look for gratitude and bring in humor and recognize that your mindset about what's happening to you is way, 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 way more important than what's happening. Like, hear me. If that's all you take from this live today, your life can change. It's not what happens to you that determines your happiness, your fulfillment, and your direction in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you do about it. And how you don't let circumstance define you, you motherfucking define you. It doesn't matter who comes for me. You can't touch this. I am fucking supported. So supported. God has my back. I'm on a fucking mission. The universe loves the work that we're doing, right? And you can feel it as I'm saying it. You start speaking that light back into your life and into what you're doing, which is like, I'm motherfucking invincible right now. If the only reason we've been going through hell was so that we could do these lives, so that we could do this live right now, and you watching could hear and receive this, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
If this helps you navigate whatever next thing is on your path, worth it.
Worth it.
Because again, this planet, it's shitty. One of our favorite law of attraction coaches that we love to listen to, her name's Amanda Francis. She lost a baby about a year ago. She was pregnant with twins. They ended up in the NICU and one didn't make it. And she's a public figure. I think she's got about 500,000 followers on Instagram, a really nice sized list. She's a multimillionaire. She's awesome. She does real estate, all sorts of cool shit. Watching her navigate that was incredibly beautiful.
And still, the way she still navigates it.
And people were mean to her. You know, people were like, oh, well, if you're the queen of law of attraction, why did you attract your baby dying? Oh my gosh, people. That's using the principle in a distorted way. Again, to beat yourself up versus stepping into the gooey, yummy side of it, which is you're going to have people pass away. You're going to have financial, unplanned for, unexpected things happen. Like there was a lot of people that during 2008, when the real estate market crashed, that they were like, holy shit, I've been rolling in the money for years and years and years, multimillionaire, and then this happens, holy shit.
Yeah.
And the people who were able to pivot and rebuild was their mindset. The people who allowed it freaked them out completely. And what are we going to do? And go into all of their old stories that they've probably worked through now, but they're like, actually, maybe that's true, right? And maybe, what is it called when it's like Murphy's Law? If something can go wrong, it will go wrong, right? If you choose to go into that pessimistic place, like we're all fucked.
They are sneaky though. As you're bringing that up, that negative place, I caught myself doing it just the other day when there was a customer that came into the store. It's like, there are these really, really sneaky things. And if any of you guys listen to like, Esther Hicks, all you get to do is just change the way that you're thinking, feeling, and speaking for 17 seconds, bringing it into a higher vibrational, thought, action, or speaking it, and you will attract a thought that is similar, and it'll just keep spiraling up, right? So the thing that I heard just the other day with a customer that was coming in, they were saying like, yep, well, like, I think that they dropped something and it was like, oh, it's okay. And then it's like, just picking it up. Well, that's how it goes. It's like, just that is super sneaky. And it's like, it's a little, like the way that we explain it, like we have these like on-ramps or these chutes and ladders that bring us into like this lower or like lower dimensional frequency of thinking, right? So just having like these little things that we're saying that are so automatic, they're just programmed in there. It's almost like you don't even think you're saying them or that it has any effect on anything, but there you are saying it. And it's like, it's like with that comment, he's basically saying like, well, if it's going to happen to me, it's going to happen. Well, shit happens. Well, yep, this sucks. Yep. If any of the bad's going to like go to anybody, it's going to be me. Like, I'm sure I'm adding a little bit more, but like, even still, the overall energy that we are like talking about, exuding, feeling, like they were just in, and it was like, well, shit. That sucks. That's what's going to happen. If any shit's going to happen, it's going to be for me. It's just changing the way that we're speaking, changing the way that we are even thinking. Like our thoughts become the things. So the faster we can get our thoughts, our actual, like the way that we speak, it's all spells. It's all a way of bringing in what we're wanting and we get to decide which one that gets to be shit, mediocre, or fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. I wanted to acknowledge you, Sherry. Yes, you are manifesting a love like ours.
Oh,
I wanted
Sherry.
to say hello. This is Ginger. Hey, Ginger. It's so good to see you.
Ginger.
I just commented in most of the places this is except YouTube. I put up the link to go and join Inner Circle. For those of you that are knowing and feeling called to it, there it is. And just to really jump off the back of what Baby Love is saying here, you guys, we only have 10% of our day that's conscious. So we get to use that 10% to rewire that automatic. And this is why growth is accumulative. And you will hit a hockey stick effect that will feel like it's a success overnight, but it starts with one action in the direction of your dreams. So I want to invite all of you who are on here. There's a lot of you on here. If any of you are willing to receive coaching, jump in the comments and play with us, and just participate in general. But basically, what's one goal you have right now that you're like, if this is all I accomplished by the end of this year, 2023, I would feel like, yeah, I'm right where I want to be. I'm on track, feeling good. Start posting those in the comments.
Yeah.
Share with us what that one thing is, because there's a book called The One Thing, and I highly, highly recommend it. And it's based on this idea that when we start a cornerstone consistent habit, whatever that is, in time, we begin to build on that cornerstone and our whole life changes. Ralph Smart, we love him. He's awesome. He's a YouTuber. He says, if you just spend 15 minutes a day on your goal every day, and you commit to 15 minutes a day until it's achieved, you will have it. There's a law about that consistent checking in the brain and that prioritization.
Yep.
So this is awesome. Breaking six figures. Ooh, I love it. I wish I knew who that was, because it's just doing this Facebook user thing. I think when it's from a private Facebook group, it protects your identity.
Oh,
I think that's what it is.
You're right.
Rachel, thank you. Finding balance. That's amazing. I love that. Hit 1,000 followers and subscribers on Instagram and YouTube. I love it. Thank you for playing. So when it comes to breaking six figures,
you guys.
So like in a consultation, no, that'd be like a rocket launch session. But what I would do is I would sit down and I would look at, what business is it that you're wanting to break six figures in? How long have you been in that business? We would do like a lot of questions at the beginning to kind of diagnose what's going on. Mm-hmm. But we would get down to a core symptom or a core problem that's the hang up, or we have a snag happening, and we would create a daily action one that we would start with. And we would have you do that for 7 days consistently. And we would check in and see how that's going. We may have you do it for another 7 days consistently, because the truth is Rome wasn't built in a day. And we often way overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a week. We overestimate what we can do in a month and underestimate what we can do in a year. So because of that, the mind actually sabotages us and takes us out of the game. And we don't start taking that action now. A really great example of this is Keely and I got on TikTok in 2020. And every time that we've been consistent on there, we'll have a big spike and our following will grow. So I think I have like 7,200 followers on there, right? And when we started like kind of networking and connecting with other people that were just getting started on their channels that were like, so that we could like collab and like watch their stuff and whatever. And a lot of those people that were consistent, posting 3 to 5 times a week for the last 3 years, are up between 300,000 and 1.2 million followers on there because of their consistency. And their content's great, but it's not like it's the consistency is what's really created the difference in results. Yeah. Right. Like I'm probably cuter and smarter than them. Like more people would want to follow me. I'm just kidding. What I'm saying is your consistency and your energy and alignment is what sets you apart, is what allows you to grow and thrive. Okay. So basically we would take a look at that 6 figures that you're wanting to create in your business. I'm just so excited wanting to talk about every single one of these. And we would figure out what that one thing is for you based on your business. And usually we do one business thing and we do one mindset thing because they're actually the same. Yes, committing to meditating for 10 minutes every single day will change the game for you in your business, because what you're doing is you're practicing being conscious of self. And that muscle of being conscious of self assists you in catching the stories and the blocks. Great example of this. This is a small thing. We had a client this weekend at the retreat that has grown children and rarely sees them and rarely texts them. She thinks about them all the time, but she doesn't because she doesn't want to interrupt them. So she used a great example. Like Monday, she got back from the retreat and her heart and her inspiration was like, message my kids, text these friends, do this. And her brain was like, no, it's a Monday. Everyone's really busy. You'll just be inconveniencing people. And in the past, she would listen to that voice. But now that she's bringing consciousness to it, she followed through on that inspired action.
Mm-hmm.
And she's had many inspired actions, some that enhance relationships, some that enhance your income, but we actually talk ourselves out of it before we even do it because we're not trusting that the steps will be laid out before us.
Yep.
And we're trying to predict and control what's going to happen. So many dreams are born and die within our head. We essentially abort them and kick them out before they even have a chance to breathe air. Yeah, finding balance. I love that, Rachel. So finding balance, especially for someone that dances with neurodivergency and empathy and the intuition, right? We know Rachel, so it's kind of like, it's a little bit of a cheat because we know her, so I can speak into it a little bit differently. But basically, finding balance, when I hear someone say they're finding balance, what I'm hearing is they need support. They need support. They're carrying a lot themselves, and they need support in sorting it, where it goes, prioritizing it, and then consistently following through on it in a way where it's loving accountability versus the old school bashing. When people are having a hard time finding balance, again, we would dig into this. There's a couple of different things that come up for people, but one of the big ones is I've got to do it all alone. I've got to do it myself. It's all on me. And if I'm not doing it all myself, what does that mean about me? Right? Then we dig deeper and we dig
Why
deeper.
can't I do this by myself?
And so that's
I
what
should be able to.
Yeah. No, we don't even apologize. Right. So basically, it's like once you commit to something every day, like something like meditating, and you don't do it. If you don't do it, then you just look at why you're not doing it. And then we go in, it's like everything's an opportunity. Like I love it when people fuck up. Like my clients, I love it when my clients.
Yeah.
I love it when my clients I love it when they flip me off at retreats. I love it when they get in fights with each other at retreat or arguments, you know. I love it when they mess up on something or they don't follow through with something because then there's work to do, right? That's the opportunity for the breakthrough. If everything's going good and going fine, you can just do everything you want. It's like, go get it.
It's going good and fine.
You don't need coaching right now. Come be interviewed in my podcast, right? And then if life starts hitting you and your mindset, it's like the mindset taps out. You're trying to like, it's like you need someone to open the door while you're carrying all the stuff. But you're carrying all the stuff and you're trying to open the door too. And so you're just stuck outside holding all the stuff. Knowing when to reach out and lean into support is so essential. And someone that struggles with finding balance as a symptom, that's a symptom. That's not actually the problem, right? We would dig in to find the problem and create the plan to move through it and break through it. So good. Lisa, I love this goal. We already talked to you today in Masters Academy, so you know what you're doing, badass. Launching Parents Loving Teens Back to Life Summit. Yes, Melanie Brown.
Gosh.
And you already have your actions that you're starting to take. You're all set up. Facebook user, I'd love to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with my life, and hopefully it's something I love instead of just tolerate. Yeah. Okay, good. So I'll just tell you this, just spoiler alert. What you're meant to do is something you love. So if you're not loving what you're doing, you just haven't found it yet. Okay?
Huge clue. Huge clue.
What you're meant to be doing is something that you do love and that is seemingly effortless for you. It takes effort, it takes practice, it takes work, but it's a gifting.
Yeah.
You could send me a DM. I'd love to connect with you about this. Let me know. We do a consult. I'm not sure who it is, but Facebook user. Living an abundant life and embodying me. Ooh, that's delicious. This is about authenticity. And authenticity is such a fun goal because it's an exploration.
Yeah.
It's like the best. It's like this ever evolving discovery of self. And to dig to it, to get to it, we get to navigate some stories. We get to dig basically. Like you're there. This isn't like you don't need to make yourself up or like find yourself. It's like you're underneath this shit. and we remove the shit, you effortlessly and naturally know how to be. This is what has happened for me. This is why I dress and look this way now. This was a very natural evolution. Baby Love was here to witness all of this happen. And to get to this point, I had a lot of deconstruction to do around things that I was taught. They can totally help you discover that. Thank you. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. Lisa,
I love
thank
her little
you.
picture. It's so happy. It's like I
So
can
cute.
hear her saying it.
Yeah. I love it too. Diane, by Christmas, I want to feel in control of my life and business responsibilities. In other words, out of overwhelm.
Ooh,
oh my gosh.
Thank
Diane,
you.
I don't know if maybe you did. Were you a part of our Unleashed ADHD Summit? We had the most amazing 8-hour event. It's recorded. I don't know if the link to that, if Ashley has that up yet. I think she's putting like 2 or 3 interviews for free on there. And then the upgrade's like $47 for all of it. Incredible resources about overwhelm. So many. So overwhelm, we get to navigate overwhelm a lot. And again, overwhelm is a mindset thing. It's too much noise. It's too much craziness going on. And so honestly, the shifts that you get to create around that, again, you guys, like the tweaks that you get to make, you can be feeling like they're so hard or they're so impossible. And again, that story keeps you from taking action. It's like, oh, really? Like a past life regression session is going to fix that? Yes. It will help it. Yes.
Yeah.
Coaching will help it. Yes. A perspective, a new idea changes everything in an instant, from going down a trail of hopelessness, discouragement, overwhelmed, tapped out, whatever. And when we get to that place, we go into coping mechanisms that we've learned over a lifetime of dealing with shit. And often those coping mechanisms, we don't really like those. Like you want your life to improve your coping mechanisms, right? From whatever it is, drugs and alcohol to meditating or walking in nature or whatever that is. I know you know a lot of this. I'm preaching to the choir. But again, like this is an absolutely possible reality for you. And even in the way that you're wording this goal, I can feel like there's just, I want to feel in control of my life and business. Yeah. There's some fun work there. I want to commit more self-care, not lazy disassociation, but real gooey, genuine love, inner child work, physical care. Ooh, that is yummy. Mm-hmm. I love that, Elise. And my invitation to you would just be to pick one thing that you're going to do every day just to start. And it's one thing that you're doing that's self-love that you're going to do every day, and just start with that. And again, when you go to think about self-care, the second thing I would invite you to do is on your way to and from work, put on a song that inspires you to take care of yourself, to love yourself. Like there's that one is it by Megan Trainor? It's like Treat Yourself Right or whatever.
Yes.
It's so cute. Something like that, or in whatever genre you like. I know you have very curated taste in music, but finding something that speaks to your soul and imagining doing self-care and feeling so good. So like I use this example with weight loss earlier. If we're thinking, I use this with Lisa on the call today. If we're thinking, oh, I need to eat healthy today so I can lose weight. And we're like really in the energy of how our body's feeling and looking.
For the result.
Yeah, for the result. Eating healthy just feels like work or a burden. But if you eat healthy for the sake of the eating healthy and getting excited about, I love it when people take pictures of the food. Take pictures of your food and post it online. Do it. It's like an accountability tool. And you like make it pretty and beautiful. And you can get like turned on by how fun it feels to eat something fresh and good for your body. Like I'm going to post in my story today, Baby Love made me, you guys. God, I'm going to show you first. You're seeing it before it's in the story, okay? Baby Love made me this amazing avocado toast. It's a little bit blown out. It's a little bright.
It is blown out.
But it's so good. It's got
green dot
mozzarella.
was basil that was grown in a hydroponics garden.
Right. And the basil, like it touched my mouth and I was like, this is activated. This is charged, because that basil gets saged every day. And it also gets healing tones played to it, but it was amazing.
And Reiki blessings.
And that was a distraction, but also a little on topic here. Love you, ladies. Love you too, Facebook user.
I think that was Ginger.
That might be Ginger. Diane, I would love any resources. I attended part of the summit, but don't recall overwhelmed content. So just to miss it, can I get access?
Oh, how exciting.
I'll send you the links. Did you do the VIP, Diane? Did you do the VIP? Because you should have the recordings already in your inbox if you did. If you didn't, I can send you the link and you'll go through the funnel and it'll be, I think it's $47 to upgrade into that. worth it.
Or there's 2 on there, I think. But yeah, knowing which one.
We have so many resources, you guys. If you have
We do.
questions and need stuff, reach out and message.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little premature to be announcing this, but we have an app that we're so excited for that's going to have tons of resources for you guys. I know I've been saying this. We've been working on this since December, but there's some other things that have taken precedence. Avocado toast looks yummy. It's so good. It's so good. So that being said, we are nearing the end of our 1-hour deep dive into the law of attraction. If this has benefited you and served you, I invite you to share this out. Even if you're just private messaging someone or tagging them below, let's not keep all this gooey goodness to ourselves. Let's share this out. Thank you guys for being here so much. We love doing this work. And, you know, it's a little vulnerable sometimes and sticky to share about our own personal life. But I truly believe that it is really beneficial for you to watch and see and know that the coaches and the speakers that are here seeking to serve you are actively applying it.
Yeah.
You know, we might be at a different space in our journey applying it, but the principles are the same. And the application is beautiful and predictable and guaranteed. And so if you're going through a dark night of the soul at this time, first of all, I see you and I feel you and I'm with you. And I want you to know that you are not forgotten and that I truly have felt a lot of you during this live streaming series and have felt so pulled and committed to showing up and supporting you in this space. And I'm telling you, that's not me. That's your ancestors. That's your guides. That's your God loving you and putting people, tools, and resources in your path. And so I know that the work that we're doing, the posts that we're writing, the things that are coming through are being guided for you by you. And so when you hear us speak and you watch these lives, whatever is resonating for you, that your intuition confirms that message was for you, and your intuition even will take something we say and even add to it and reinterpret it. It's just being in this space and being willing to receive. Your intuition is bringing you those answers. It's seeking to guide you all of the time. Things are happening for you. And this life can feel really dark and confusing, but it also can feel really beautiful. And it can feel like a privilege. Yeah. So while we're here and while we're embodied and while we're in these physical being spaces, we have an opportunity to make the most of whatever is in front of us. And our mindset and the way that we approach it and the way that we talk to ourselves is everything. So go look in the mirror and tell yourself how gorgeous you are. Give yourself a big old hug, because this was self-care listening into this tonight. And it's been an honor to be here with you guys. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for all of your participation, your questions. It makes it so gooey when you guys come on here.
It does.
Current house with new eyes. You're so sweet. Yeah. It's been fun to have you on here tonight as well. So this is us signing off after an amazing, I don't even know what it's been, 10 days of going live every single day to bring you guys some law of attraction and energy alchemy content. We love you.
We hope this served you. We hope this supported you. We hope that you felt like you have gotten some answers or clarity, or you've gotten something that has brought you closer to you and your dreams and goals. We're going to miss you. Oh, you're so cute, Elise. We love you.
You're so sweet.
One thing
Elise, did you get pocket coaching this Monday? I want to check because you should have. So let me know if you got the opt-in message. We may be switching texting services. Sometimes it's finicky. We'll see.
One thing I wanted to say is that we are really in today is what, the 2nd, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, today's the 2nd. So we're still in first of all, we're in the full moon energy, which is right now it's in Aquarius. Like we're coming out of it, but we're still on like the back halo of it, which is still very potent energies. So just wanting to remind you guys, we're also in like coming into the Lionsgate portal, which is when the Earth and Sirius and then Orion's belt are all in alignment with each other. There's huge, huge, huge availability to amplify, to manifest, to bring in whatever it is that we're wanting to into our lives. It's just a really great time to be intentional and to use the phases and this time astrologically to really bring in what you're wanting to create, to bring in and amplify those desires and get really clear on where your next moves are, if this is the right thing for you, and knowing with that clear headspace, like knowing that your next steps are right in front of you and knowing what to do with them. So I really encourage you guys, like we're going to be putting out some videos and resources to be able to help you guys during this 8/8 portal, which is also our anniversary. So anyways, just wanting to remind you guys of that it's a really, really important time and potent time to be manifesting and to use these energies to help you. We love you.
To fuel you
so much.
Good night, everybody. Chip, chip, cheerio, jolly good. Goodbye.
Bye.
We'll talk to you soon.
We love you.
Love you.